Tinubu Bola Ahmed of the APC, 8 million.
In Africa's largest democratic exercise, the votes have been counted. But will the results hold? Bola Tinubu is Nigeria's president-elect. Described as the godfather of Nigerian politics, the 70-year-old has been a major political operator for decades and a close ally of the incumbent president, Muhammadu Buhari. The opposition, though, have failed to deliver that upset they fought for, and they are crying foul play. Citing fraud and vote rigging, they've promised to challenge the result. Tinubu, formerly the governor of Lagos, garnered 9 million votes following a controversial weekend. Saturday's voting, though mainly peaceful, was troubled by delays at polling stations. Technical problems disrupted the uploading of results to the Electoral Commission's website, adding to concerns about vote rigging.
It's already very glaring to all Nigerians, except we are making pretenses about it here. And this election is not free, fair and credible.
Claims that the Electoral Commission denies. The new president, who has faced allegations of corruption and questions about his wealth, has a difficult task ahead. As well as surging inflation and cash shortages, Nigeria also faces the threat of a jihadist insurgency. And perhaps we can start the programme by crossing live to London. Nena Ifeye Adjufo, I'd like to start with you if I can. Was this, in your view, a democratic and free election?
Absolutely wouldn't say so. But I want to speak in terms of the role that technology was supposed to play in this election. Yeah. And the security thereof. So last year in February 2022, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria signed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law. And by virtue of that act, it gave the Independent National Electoral Commission powers to deploy election technology and make technological enhancement of elections in the manner the commission decides. But then what happened on Saturday was, beyond expectations, cut short the expectations of Nigerians. And Nigeria is not alone in this, because the digitalization of election in Africa has continued to generate contentions. Now, Nigerians were weighing two things importantly. They were weighing the integrity of the election technology system and the transparency of the Independent National Electoral Commission in that election. Now, there were already misconceptions and widespread apprehension that bordered on the security of the election technology systems, the malfunctioning, it being manipulated, and concerns about the digital transmission results, which the INEC president came to debunk. He came on national TV and said it was fake news because there was already news ahead of the election that INEC had planned to jettison the uploading of polling unit results in real time. And in his words, he said that that was fake news and that the innovation election technology was introduced by the commission and that the commission cannot turn around and undermine itself. In his words, he said, technology has come to stay. We will upload polling unit level results from the polling units in real time. Citizens will have the right to view the results. After all, who are we serving? The citizens. How can we deprive citizens from access to the results of a process conducted by them? But then what we saw on Saturday was that the BVAS was not functional in many parts. Many voters were not accredited and results were not uploaded in real time. Now, some people tend to talk about the election technology being deployed by Nigeria as a very sophisticated system, which is not. All they needed to do was upload images of the results in real time, and INEC failed to do this. They have come out to say there were glitches, there were technical issues. And just as a last point to point out, if you go back to section 62.2 of the Electoral Act, it is clear. It said the commission shall compile, maintain, and update on a continuous basis a register of election results to be known as the National Electronic Register of Election Results. Of course, expecting that to be in an electronic format, but INEC failed to deliver on this, not minding all the promises that were made. The other thing was discrepancies in the results people had seen at the polling units and what they are now seeing on the IREV.
There was a deliberate attempt to make sure that the presidential election is not transmitted so that they will resort illegally and criminally by the law. Section 60 subsection 4 of the Electoral Act made it clear count and announce the result in the polling unit. Transmit and transfer in the polling unit. Subsection 5. So the polling unit independence in the conduct of our election is sacrosanct. And anything beyond that is not only illegal, but criminal. Subsection 6 very clear. Anybody that contravenes this procedure has become a criminal and should be sentenced to jail. He will either pay a fine of 500,000 naira or go to jail for at least 6 months. So all the INEC officials that committed crime in front of Nigerian people are now by law criminals.
Emmanuel Eger, for example, it is clear, isn't it? There were multiple technical problems, logistical problems, but what is being suggested here is that actually this was more than that. This was a deliberate attempt to disrupt the vote. Do you agree with that? Is there evidence here that the vote was rigged?
I think there is sufficient evidence that these technical challenges that we saw were kind of deliberate, kind of organized.
And where is the evidence of that?
Well, if you see all the videos and documents and everything that have been posted in the social media real time, you see it's now very difficult to do anything and hide in any part of the world, particularly in Africa now. Everybody is equipped with cell phone. So when some of these irregularities are taking place, people are filming real time and putting it on the social media. So we are able to see what's going on. It's video evidence. And this issue of jettisoning the electronic transmission of the results of the election at the polling unit, where the votes are counted, the representatives of the parties are there, they certify, and then the head of the polling unit, all he has to do is just press a button and send the result real time to the collation center. And that was going to be the main technology to help us get rid of vote rigging, and that failed. This is exactly what our colleague in London was just explaining, that the chairman of the INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, in fact, many people are asking themselves if the word independent on the Electoral Commission should continue to be there. But it's not only in Nigeria. We have this kind of situation in all parts of Africa where they are called independent.
Well, that's
It's another issue. But that's what she's explaining, that this electronic transfer was allowed by the new electoral law amended, and the president gave his full backing. And the president said, I will not allow anybody to tamper with the results of the elections, and anybody to tamper with the process, either through using immense resources like money to buy votes, to corrupt INEC officials. The president said, if I will be remembered for any legacy at all, let it be that I have delivered free, fair, credible, and transparent elections. And I'm very sorry the president might be failing in this promise.
We are here to retrieve our mandate back, mandatory, inshallah. We need it back here in Ogamnana. Ogamnana Central has started their protest right now. Here they are in Ogamnana Central Ward.
Nigerians, and hello fellow obedience. This is your friend Dr. Haruna Goro. I know what we are going through. Everybody is upset with what INEC is doing. We already knew what Tinubu was up to. Tinubu can never be the president of Nigeria. A weak, frail, corrupt, old man Is that the kind of person that you think will go to Aso Rock? Nigerians came out in mass to vote for change. It cannot be that most Nigerians still want to settle with APC. That's why APC is now going to be the ruling party in the next 4 years. Not at all. We will not accept this broad daylight robbery. Be part of the obedient and useful movement. We just started, we haven't ended. Today is not 29th of May, so don't panic. Obi is a fighter, but a peaceful fighter, but he always comes out as a winner. I also have a word for you, our Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammadu Buhari. You already promised us and you told the whole world that you want to ensure a free, fair, and credible election. But it cannot be free, fair, and credible when people's votes have been stolen. So please stand up in defense of what you promised. You promised security, but we didn't see it on the voting day. People were just left at the mercy of thugs. President Buhari, you are the commander-in-chief. So ensure you do the right thing. Mr. President, stand up and protect the citizens of this great nation. I want to say...
Evident, the institutions of the state and leaders that were supposed to ensure the sanctity of the election, again, and as in the past, collaborated and colluded to subvert the will of the good people of Nigeria. Please be assured of our determination to fight the injustice that have been perpetrated on Nigerians through all legal and peaceful means. While painful, we implore you all to please remain peaceful and calm, as our fight and determination for a new Nigeria is just beginning. It doesn't matter how low the confidence it is in the judiciary, the law is the law. And look, there's a confidence we have in them, and there's the confidence we have in ourselves and in our case. These are two different things. The confidence we have in ourselves and in our case is that elections, so to say, were not held. Because from the polling units, the Electoral Act 2002 as amended provided the direct transmission of results. It is that direct transmission of results that says elections were held.
As the observers who made the comment, respectfully, I want to tell you that all of them, not some, the EU, the ECOWAS, the AU, the CSOs, both in Nigeria and internationally, they came to one conclusion. According to Thabo Mbeki, say INEC destroyed the trust of Nigerian people in the process. In a democracy, the process is more important than the result. And the process of conducting an election is very clear. I participated in this election. You go to the polling booth, you are accredited by the beavers, you go vote. At the conclusion of the matter, the vote is counted, the vote is announced publicly, the vote is transferred through electronic transfer to the server. Two levels of authentication through transfer. The first is uploading to the IREF portal, which is snapping the hard copy of the manual result and uploading it, which INEC was doing even before the authorization of electronic transmission. INEC yearned and told Nigerian people, and Nigerian people fought to grant them electronic transmission of results. The only reason for the amendment of 2022 Electoral Act is electronic transmission of results, to remove the mischief of the manual collation centers, where Nigerians have unanimously agreed is the albatross for free and fair election. In Mahmoud's INEC, in 2023 presidential election, Mahmoud bypassed the process of transferring electronically the result of the presidential election intentionally and willfully in order to manipulate the election to pronounce Bola Tinubu the president-elect. Why did I use the word willfully and intentionally? Anybody telling you there was a glitch in Beavers is the first liar of this election. There were 3 elections conducted on the same day. No Beavers. I repeat, no Beavers malfunctioned. We were accredited by Beavers. He did not malfunction. We were counted, announced. They transmitted the result of the senatorial election. Beavers was beautiful. They did it with the House of Representatives. Beavers was on top of the game. Then in the presidential election, they are telling their own fools, not us, that Beavers suddenly started malfunctioning. No, it did not malfunction. There was a deliberate attempt to make sure that the presidential election is not transmitted so that they will resort illegally and criminally by the law. Section 60, subsection 4 of the Electoral Act made it clear. Count and announce the result in the polling unit. Transmit and transfer in the polling unit. Subsection 5. So the polling unit independence in the conduct of our election is sacrosanct. And anything beyond that is not only illegal, but criminal. Subsection 6 very clear. Anybody that contravenes this procedure has become a criminal and should be sentenced to jail. He will either pay a fine of 500,000 naira or go to jail for at least 6 months. So all the INEC officials that committed crime in front of Nigerian people are now by law criminals.